both advocates of health and wellness, made sure that when these products came onto the market, we all started swallowing them. And for 27 years now, we've been swallowing Juice Plus capsules. And really, it's certainly been a blessing to my entire family's life, physically as well as financially. We've been able to generate a pretty significant business over the years. I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of background on the Juice Plus company, the Juice Plus products, and then we'll turn it over to our special guest speaker for the evening and her team. The Juice Plus company, if you guys are joining us for the first time, is not a new company. We're quite old at this point. Started in 1970 by a man, a young guy at the time by the name of Jay Martin, still the guy that heads up our company today. Jay brought the very first product to market at the time, which was a fire alarm under the company banner or name of NSA, stood for National Safety Association. In the 80s, we moved into the field of air and water filtration systems, and that was a huge success. That was about the time my family got involved. Clean air, clean water, something that made a lot of sense to us, resonated with us. We started using those products and had a lot of success with them. They worked really well for us, and so we decided to start sharing that information with others. And in the 80s, my family was able to build a very successful business in a relatively short period of time. And then in the early 90s, Jay Martin moved us one more time into the field of health technology with these lovely bottles here. And really what we got here, guys, is a juicing replacement. If you're just seeing Juice Plus for the first time, that's probably the easiest way to think about Juice Plus products. They're just a juicing replacement. Everybody understands the concept of juicing. It's an easy way to get a large amount of produce that maybe you would never eat in one day in your body by drinking it. And what the Juice Plus company does is it takes that process one step further by removing the water, sugar, and salt and encapsulating the phytonutrition, the antioxidants, the enzymes, all of the bioavailable nutrition that enters directly into a bloodstream to nourish us. And so if you look at these 4 bottles, you'll hear this 4-bottle program commonly referred to as the Core 4. And what we've got here, guys, is we've got, in a day's dose, 2 vegetable capsules, 2 berry capsules, 2 fruit, and 2 omega. And if you take each out of those bottles every day, basically what you're going to get here is the equivalent of about 3 fresh pressed juices. Everybody knows the cost of a fresh pressed juice. It's about $8 to $10 a glass. And so to be able to get 3 of these with the Juice Plus company for about $3.48 a day, it's certainly a bargain. And for a lot of us, it's something that's financially sustainable over time. And anything that we do every day is usually what works for us, whether it's going to the gym or brushing our teeth or the regimen of food that we decide to eat. So the Juice Plus company delivers a very easy game plan that we can all implement in our lives on a daily basis that is financially sustainable. I love to partner the capsules with the powder. I eat this stuff every day. I'll take a bag of the complete, which I'll show you guys right now. I'll mix it up in my shaker bottle in the morning. I personally just drink it with water. I think the stuff tastes great. I shake up 1 bag of powder and I take my capsules, and that's how I start my day. And then after I finish my training session every day, I train about 5 days a week, I'll do the same dose again. And so that's how I stay on top of my recovery and my nutrition. And I know that no matter where I go, for instance, right now I'm here in Texas. I spend most of my time in Southern California, but I know no matter where I'm at, I can count on that routine every single day. And so that definitely gives me a foundation for my nutrition. This company has given all of us the opportunity to take on franchise with it and market these products and receive some commissions. And if we choose, build team and really grow what turns out to be over time a very, very successful business. And tonight we have some people on with us that have chosen to do that. I'm going to read a bio to you of our speaker for the evening. Her name is Catherine Taylor. She graduated from TCU in Texas. She lived in Texas for 20 years, and then she moved back to Minnesota with her husband. She was a firefighter, an EMT, an admin assistant, a project manager before she found her passion in serving others and joined the Juice Plus company in 2006. Now, a qualifying national marketing director Catherine and her husband live in Delano, Minnesota. She's got a daughter that's 20 years old, a son that's 35, and she enjoys being outdoors and socializing with others and really pursuing her passion with the Juice Plus business. So Catherine's going to share her story, and she's going to then introduce some of her team that are on with us this evening to share theirs. So Catherine, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, well, thank you, Josh. As you said, my name's Catherine Taylor, and 14 years ago, I was a busy mom, and I was working a corporate job, and I found myself getting sick a lot with different viruses and sinus infections. And one day I saw a coworker at her desk taking some capsules, and I asked her what it was. She said it was Juice Plus, and she shared with me how it had helped her health. So I was curious enough about it to check it out, and I was really impressed with the clinical research and the institutions that were doing the research. I felt very safe to try it, and so I did. And after several months, I noticed my energy was better, I wasn't getting sick as often, and my nails were growing a lot faster and stronger. And I learned that when you flood your body with good nutrition, it's going to function better, and that's what the research showed. So my husband started taking it, and he sponsored our son in the program, who was 6 years old at that time, the Healthy Starts for Families program. And our daughter was in college, and she really was not interested in it. But now, 14 years later, she's a physician, and she's pregnant with her first child, and she is taking it as well. So we're really happy about that, and we're all still taking it. There are many things I like about Juice Plus, but one of them is the peace of mind that it gives me. We are really busy, and we do our best to eat healthy and make good food choices, but that just doesn't always happen. So with Juice Plus, I have the peace of mind knowing that we're getting fruit and vegetable nutrition in every day from a wide variety of plants. And that's helping to repair and protect things inside our bodies that we can't even see or feel. And when I heard about Juice Plus, I was working several days a week at a company, and I did like the variety of that job and the busyness of it, but I did not like leaving my son at daycare, and I really did not like someone else setting my own schedule for me. I decided I would like to be in control of my own schedule. So I started sharing Juice Plus with people that I cared about just because I wanted them to be healthier. But then I got bolder and I shared it with more people. And then I started to build a team. And I was really intentional about attending events and learning along the way. So when we relocated to Minnesota, I decided to focus more on my Juice Plus business rather than get another job. And my income began to grow, and over time, it helped to pay for our mortgage and other expenses. And because I was home, I could take my son to school in the morning, go to the school masses with him, volunteer in the playground, attend his sporting and music events, and just be home with him in the summer and all through the summer, or through the school year, or in the afternoons. But anyway, it felt amazing, and I'm so thankful that I had that time with him. I continue to share our mission with people now. I have a fantastic group of people on my team, and I have the supplemental income and the time flexibility to be where I think God is leading me right now. If that's spending more time with my aging parents or working part-time at our parish, I can visit my son who's in college or my daughter who's in Texas, or I can just meet up with people to share with them what our company offers. So I'm really grateful that I can do all these things. And speaking of amazing people I get to work with, it was hard to choose only 4 to bring on the call this evening, but I'm going to introduce the first to you. That is Lori Varas. Lori lives in Indiana, near Indianapolis. She is a functional medicine health coach. She's married to Alex, has 2 handsome sons, Matthew and Mark. She has dual citizenship as an American and a Canadian. She's a whole food nutrition and Tower Garden advocate. And Lori is such a dynamic, energetic person, and I'm so glad she said yes to converting from a raving fan to partner with our company 10 years ago, as she's really become a good friend of mine. So Lori, I'm turning it to you. And you got to unmute yourself. Hey, Lori, you're still muted.
I'm trying. I was trying. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Catherine, for the introduction. I am Lori Varas, and yes, I live in Indianapolis. I lived in Indianapolis when I was introduced to Juice Plus, and I actually met somebody else on Catherine's team when I was on a trip to Minnesota. So I was here by myself and it's worked out just fine. I was actually looking for something. We had just moved here from Michigan. My kids weren't eating so well and I didn't want isolated vitamins. So when I got introduced to fruit and vegetable powders, I was like, this is what we need. This is exactly what I've been looking for. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I wanted to be able to sleep as a mom, and I wanted my kids to have more fruits and vegetables. That's how they ate more in Michigan. So I read the research, I attended an event on the product and on the business, and I was in. I was all in. I took it to all my friends back in Michigan and to Canada, and I set my goal to fast track, and I had a wonderful little coaching call with Cheryl Cortese and Fran Simpson, and I hit it. So it was fun. I'd love to be able to build this business with those that I wanted to work with. I was tired of working in corporate life with people I didn't want to work with half the time. So that was great. So I grew it internationally. I actually had a larger business in Canada, and then my US caught up. I had customers in Sweden and Switzerland, and now I have a good friend who's down in Mexico and ready to kick off Mexico. I got into it because I got the chills when I listened to all the events. It was about our healthcare is sick care, and that just bothered me big time. I wanted prevention. I wanted my friends to be healthy, and I was seeing too many young people with getting old diseases. And honestly, I was totally frustrated with that. So I went on to learn. I got my Dr. Sears certified health coach, and I went on to be a functional medicine coach as well. And for me, it's been a perfect marriage just to continue learning. I sat in a conference a few years ago, and my blood started to pump when good old Stephen Ritz from the Bronx stood on stage. And he brought what I considered a prayer to the food desert. My husband actually grew up right around the corner from Stephen's school. And for me, it just hit my heart. So I now have 25 towers in my little local town schools. I have them in every Boys and Girls Club here in our county and in senior homes. So I will tell you that I love this company with my heart. I love their vision and I love their mission, and I will stay. And I welcome you. If you are new, please enjoy the journey. It's a great one.
Thank you, Lori. That was awesome. Our next speaker tonight is Peggy Bobick. Peggy lives in Minnesota, and she partnered with the Juice Plus company 5 years ago, and she recently hit the new qualifying senior sales coordinator promotion. Peggy and her husband, Steve, have been married 28 years. They have 3 adult children, ages 19, 22, and 25. Peggy found her work as a special education paraprofessional and a classroom teacher to be very rewarding. And now she is grateful to be able to educate others on how to take control of their health. In her free time, she likes to go on long bike rides, travel, make healthy meals, which taste amazing, and spend time with friends and family. We met through church, and I'm very glad to call her a friend and a nearby neighbor. Peggy?
Thank you, Catherine, for that introduction. So as Catherine said, I live in Delano, Minnesota as well. So Catherine and I know each other because we live in the same small town. And I'm just so grateful that Catherine educated me 5 years ago. And just since then, we have locked arms, and she has encouraged me. And it's just such an honor to be on this call and to share my story with you. I'm hoping it will help others with their health journey as well. So before Juice Plus, 5 years ago, or actually more like 6 years ago, I was a busy school teacher. I didn't have time to cook the healthy meals that I do now. We have 2 daughters, and they would both routinely get ear infections and strep throat pretty much every fall. And I would get urinary tract infections 3 to 4 times a year. So that was not fun. My husband, Steve, was on a statin drug for 15 years for his cholesterol, and he was so tired all the time that he used to fall asleep at the dinner table. And we started making a joke out of how he'd wake up and, oh, I can't believe I fell asleep. It's like, no, you're too young for this. And then there's just no time for relationships, and there's no time for volunteering for the things that I wanted to do. at church and other places. So again, so very grateful that Catherine had introduced me to the Juice Plus Nutrition, because I was looking for something for our daughter, Nicole. She's our daughter, now she's 22, but at the time she was 16. She has Down syndrome, and she's always been our touchier child with regard to her health. And I was not getting answers at the doctors. I marched her all over to different specialists because of her stomach issues and her dizziness, and nobody talked about nutrition. And what we finally did was took her off of gluten and dairy, and that started to help. Our son Blake has been vegan for 8 years, and he's always educated us on the power of whole food, and he's very research oriented. So I kind of had a good understanding. So when Catherine talked to me about the nutrition, I'm like, wait, it's 30 vine ripened fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. I'm like, that's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, it was exactly, the train that we were on. So I was just very grateful that that she introduced us, and it's just a wonderful foundation to build on every day. So fast forward 5 years, we've been consistently taking the Juice Plus capsules. We do a shake pretty much every day. That's our healthy breakfast. We've done the Omega since they come out, occasional bars. And I've got 2 of the Tower Gardens now that I love, because a year round in Minnesota, I can have fresh basil and I can have fresh greens, and it's fabulous. So I absolutely love the Tower Gardens. So we've been getting in, more of this whole food. We're exercising a little bit more. And here's what we have found. Some of the things, there's a big list, but our sick visits to the doctor have dramatically gone down for our family of 5. My husband, Steve, I'm very happy to say, doesn't have all the aches, the sleepiness, the foggy brain that his statin drug was causing him for the last 15 years. He thought he just had to live with that. And for me personally, I noticed my sugar cravings went away within a few weeks, and everybody's body is different, but that's just what happened with me. Inflammation, I noticed, was going down in my body without the Advil and icing that I used to have to do. And I didn't have to take my afternoon naps anymore. After I resigned from teaching at 2:30 every day, I was kind of like, I think I'll just take a nap. And I don't have to do that. My energy is great all day now. And I just have peace of mind knowing that I'm flooding my family's body with all this wonderful nutrition, and we're practicing prevention. So it makes me very grateful. And when I joined, I thought, well, I don't want to sell it. I just want to get a good deal, the best deal I can get and save money. And I think that's probably how a lot of people start. But I started to see our health improve. And I showed this to my lovely sister, Kathy, who you get to hear from soon. She's joined us in this mission, and my mother. And I'm noticing that these people that I've introduced it to, their health is improving. And so I thought, I feel morally obligated to share this, because if I know it's helping all these people, I've seen the research, I've got to share this. If they do something or not, that's fine. But at least I know I've done my part just to educate others. So it did become a moral obligation. And now it's just, I love it. I'm more intentional with my business now. So I have some supplemental income, so I can stay home with my girls, especially our daughter with special needs. I'm teaching her how independent skills so she can live on her own. And we're doing some inclusive employment work now. I would not have been able to do that if I continued to work full time. I wouldn't have been able to have the time and energy to do that. So I will be eternally grateful for that, and just for the relationships that I've had more time and flexibility to develop these last 5 years with my family, my friends, and this amazing Juice Plus community. So thank you, Catherine, and everybody, for allowing me to share my story.
You're welcome, and thanks for sharing it, Peggy. Like you said, it's awesome when you get to work with someone in your family that you really enjoy spending time with. So I am glad that you shared it with your sister, Kathy. And Kathy Weakley is our next speaker tonight. She lives in Virginia. Kathy has been a registered nurse for 36 years, with the last 15 of those as a hospice nurse. She's a wife, the mother of a daughter and a son, and a grandmother of 6. She is also a whole food nutrition and Tower Garden advocate, and she's had a business with the Juice Plus company for the last 5 years. And the compassion and love that Kathy has for people really shines through. So Kathy, I'll let you take it away. And you remember, guy, come off.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. Can you hear me? Hi. Thank you for letting me speak. I been taking Juice Plus for 5.5 years, and it was Peggy that introduced me to that at that time, and it made perfect sense when she told me there were 30 fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It amazed me. And then there was the complete shake with another 14 plants and the bars. I was a very busy nurse, running all the time. Nutrition was really important to me. And for probably the previous 10 years, I really tried to get good nutrition in, but it was so discouraging because every time you'd hear about one thing, you'd hear another report saying it wasn't good for you. So it was confusing to me. So once I found out that there was the research behind it, it made perfect sense. I added the omega capsules into our plan once that came out. And then I added a tower garden, and now I have 3. So my entire family is taking Juice Plus, including all 6 of my grandchildren. And I have great assurance that they're getting good, solid nutrition, even on those times when they're not eating real well, which happens to all of us. Some days we do well, some days we don't. So initially, I really did not want to do the business. As I said, I was really busy. I was working over 40 hours. I couldn't figure out how I'd fit one more thing in. But then Peggy invited me to a Juice Plus Live conference. And I went and I saw thousands of vibrant, healthy people in one room, and this amazing heart that this company talked about. And everybody I talked to there had this passion to make a difference in other people's lives, to share healthy living around the world. And I saw the research and the solid backing of this company that had been in business for over 50 years. I wanted in immediately. I thought, I cannot avoid sharing this with other people now that I knew what I knew. I was always an educator. I didn't want to be a salesperson. That's not what resonated with me. However, I was an educator. I was teaching people about how to empower themselves to better health for decades. The only thing I hadn't added was the nutrition component in there. So I changed my mindset. I asked questions and I listened. And I looked at what people were looking for solutions. And I shared information on the Juice Plus products and the company and the opportunity for better health and the opportunity for extra income or a supplemental income. So it all started, it was a journey. It's been a journey over the last 5 years. I have felt wonderful on the Juice Plus product myself. My energy level has been fabulous. I rarely get sick. I used to have allergies. That rarely happens anymore. We had a whole drawer of over-the-counter medications, cold, flu, all of that. I opened the drawer one day and everything in there had been expired for 3 years, all in the garbage. And I'm not saying that we don't occasionally use that, but that was impressive to me. Just sharing this mission and the opportunity and the products with others. I know I'm doing my part, and other people can make the choice on whether they decide to order their Juice Plus product or become a partner. But this company is solid. They have a great, the internet, their website is fabulous. They're constantly updating that and giving us more tools and resources. They take care of the billing and the shipping. All I'm doing is talking to people, sharing resources that are available to me, and just showing that I have a heart and that I'm listening to what other people need. So if anything resonates with you, just contact the person that invited you to this call, and take care. Thank you,
Kat.
everybody.
I really appreciate you sharing. We're going to go to our last speaker for tonight, and she is also on Peggy's team. This is Cindy Rammage. She lives in Minnesota, and after 31 years, Cindy retired from being a school teacher and a paraprofessional. She's been married to Clay for 28 years, and they have one grown daughter and a son-in-law. She is a Tower Garden advocate for schools, and she enjoys bike riding, pickleball, and tennis. She's had a home-based business with the Juice Plus Company now for 5 years, and Cindy has a heart of gold and really cares about people and doing a job well done. So Cindy, off to you.
Hi, yes, my name is Cindy, and I have been taking Juice Plus and educating people on it for about 5 years now. I actually love the idea of flooding my body with good nutritional habits, and knowing that I can absorb key nutrients that my body needs daily is so reassuring. And Juice Plus is just one way of being able to do that. My health journey goes like this. When I was in my 40s, I had to have a total hysterectomy. So with my new hormonal depletion, my memory, my sleep, my moods suffered greatly. My joints also were getting more and more painful as I was nearing my 50s. Then my friend Peggy recommended that I try the Juice Plus products because it had helped her family's health in so many different ways. I was very skeptical, but I decided to try it anyway, and I'm so glad that I did. Within the first couple weeks of consuming the trio capsules, I started noticing that my sleep, my memory, and my hot flashes all started to improve. Then after 4 months of taking the Juice Plus, I noticed that my joints didn't ache as bad anymore, and I actually didn't have to ask the children to help me get up off the floor at school because it hurt so bad. I could actually do it on my own. It was really amazing. And I'm not saying Juice Plus products is going to have the same effect on your health, but I do know that because Juice Plus feeds my body with plant-based nutrition, that it's only going to function better. So now, along with eating these Juice Plus products, I can, like Catherine said, I can play tennis and pickleball, and I can ride my bike and enjoy an active lifestyle. I also have chosen to go on a gluten-free diet with my husband, and that's only improved my health as well. I feel better than ever, and I love, love, love being able to be active again and not hurt. I'm off all my prescriptions, and yeah, not having joints that hurt is wonderful. The Juice Plus products I use are the trio capsule blends every day for the nutritional value. I use the omegas for the oils that my body needs, and I use the shakes once a day for my breakfast for the extra protein as well. I also love to eat off my Tower Garden for lunch almost every day with a salad of many different types of lettuces and other gourmet things that I wouldn't necessarily eat just at a grocery store. The reason I joined the Juice Plus company was, again, just to pay for my products. I had really no intentions on making a business out of it. I had a full-time job. But what happened is, again, because it did so much for me and people are noticing the difference, the more I talked about it, they're just like, well, yeah, how about if I try that too? And so it just made sense to me, even though I was doing a full-time job, to do the Juice Plus business on the side. And as I built that up, now after being able to retire from teaching, I have my Juice Plus business still. And so that's what I get to do now. So I just get to focus on that full time. I love the flexibility of it being a home-based business, and I'm still able to teach. I get to teach health and wellness now rather than ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. So please check out this fabulous business opportunity along with the Juice Plus products, because you'll never know how it's going to fit into your health journey unless you try. Thanks.
Thank you, Cindy. And thanks again, Peggy and Lori and Kathy. I really appreciate you guys. And Jocelyn, I'm going to turn it back to you just so that you can wrap this up and close it down for the night.
Thank you. I loved every one of your guys' stories. It completely inspires me every time I get to log onto this call. We're here every Thursday night at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. And hey, get back to the person that invited you. You know, there was a lot of great things that I heard, and I'm super excited for our future. So I am going to